Well, setting a listing appointment,
Yeah, Carol. So what was that all about?
just just doing what we do, getting it in. Got me a listing appointment for Wednesday.
Nice. Congrats.
Boom, boom. Sorry, didn't mean to start your meeting off like that. It was an accident.
No, I mean, it's what we do, right?
What we do. Like I love you, Jason, but I had to do that first.
Yeah, no, you did a great job with that.
Thank you. How was your holiday?
It was fine. I mean, it's good to be expected. My vacation starts tomorrow, and so I have a buyer's consultation today, right after this call, and then I'm out. I'm,
Where are you going this time?
I am going to Tulum and Playa del Carmen and
Where?
um, Cozumel, all that down there.
So you're doing all the Mexico stuff.
Yeah, just
I
just
can't
gonna,
wait to have chasing money.
man, come on, just come on. Something about vacations, like I'm telling you, vacations are such a good reset. Like they are such a good reset. You come back so motivated,
Yeah.
and I love going on a vacation because most times a vacation will push you to do stuff quicker than you would normally do them, So the simple fact that I'm leaving tomorrow, it's like I'm still here on this call. I have a buyer's consultation. I still have stuff that I'm rushing in, at an insane momentum. And then when I come back, man, y'all better be ready because that's when that ultimate motivation kicks in. You're reset and all that good stuff. So definitely put it in the plan to go on some vacations next year. You got to reward yourself.
2021, one of the top things on my list is I plan on visiting Texas. I feel like I know somebody there that I want to go
Yeah.
connect with and see their hometown.
Well,
So
come
that's the
on.
priority list stuff for next year.
Come
You
on.
know a lot of people in Texas. You know
You know
that,
what I
Carl.
mean? Got to do the rounds. Got to meet everybody.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do like a Texas tour. Like you're gonna have to come to Dallas. You gotta go to Houston.
Where's Holly at? I got to go see Holly.
Oh yeah, East Texas. You gotta go see Holly.
Yes,
This
that's
is awesome.
that's gonna be a thing next year.
Oh, let me let Paula in. Yeah, so cool.
Here's my husband in the background. I also like going to Texas.
That's so. What's up, Dominic? How you doing?
So
Tell
what's
him
up?
he got to get on the phones.
You know, you know what he does, Bernard? Not to monopolize everybody's time, but he is so supportive. All year long while I've been sitting at this desk, cold calling, prospecting, setting appointments, he's been sliding in here, making sure I got water, slide my luncheon on the desk. He has slid my dinner in on this desk because I was still working, still doing vlog stuff, doing this, doing it all year long, being nothing but 100% supportive. He goes with me to my open houses. He goes with me when I door knock, so I'm not alone,
That's
and just
awesome.
rides in the car behind me.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, I could not have asked for a better support system. And then my dad handles all my signs on my listings. He goes over, sweeps the sidewalks. He checks the signs after there's a heavy storm, make sure nothing fell over. Like I have a pretty solid support system. I definitely don't think I'd be where I'm at if it wasn't for them.
Sounds like you have a pretty solid team.
Yeah, it does.
Exactly.
You
And then
know,
I'm trying to recruit my teammate right here. I got him sitting here next to me.
yo,
Train.
when they were, because he wants to reap the benefits. Trust me, he got things on that vision board behind me. And
that's awesome.
he started referring to our island as Beartopia.
Beartopia. That's so crazy. Well, y'all. So this is the last call of 2020. Like this is the last one of this year,
A whole year together.
which is awesome. And so what I wanted to do on this call, because I mean, a lot of you have grown significantly in your businesses this year, and I know it's always me talking and me, kind of lecturing and sharing, which I'm going to still do a little bit of that today, but there's so much knowledge within this group, so many deals that have been passed, so such significant growth that has happened, in just these last 6 months, these 12 months. And so what I want to do is I want to, because y'all know, I always feel like there's something you can learn from somebody else. And so what I want to do is I want to open up the floor and give most of you a chance to speak. I have some questions here that I'm going to put on the screen, because there's probably something that you did this year in your business that can really benefit someone else. And so I want to give you the opportunity to go into one thing. And the questions are what you did or where you were before, so what was the problem that you had? What's one thing that you implemented into your business this year? And then how did you do that? So what steps did you take? And then talk about the difference that it's made. So let's try to keep these within 5 to 7 minutes, just so we can have everyone get a chance to speak. And take notes, because there's some good stuff that some people have done that I've watched from a distance. And I think it would be, again, extremely beneficial for you to hear what they've done. So I just put the questions up on the screen. Take a minute, take them in, think about what situation you're going to talk about. And then I'm going to call on someone here shortly. But while you're sitting there thinking and getting your paper together and everything like that, I want to make sure that we are not going into the next year with limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs, I get them in my email. I get them through DMs, through everything, of people always telling me why they can't do something, why they can't succeed, why they can't get their license, why they can't afford this, why. And, it can be so annoying, especially for someone like me, where I'm always thinking about the solution. I don't dwell on the problem. Somebody tells me that I can't do something, I'm going to figure out a way to do it. I don't like to be limited in any kind of way. But then there's also something that happens called programming. Has anyone ever heard of programming? Just raise your hand, nod your head. Programming happens, and programming happens subconsciously. On a very basic level of programming, it's kind of like you're sitting there seeing commercials for a certain type of food. The next thing you know, you're eating that food for dinner. When you think that you're very resistant to it, somehow you're eating that pizza for dinner, or you're eating that burger, and in actuality, you've been programmed to want that. Programming happens through the news. Programming happens through advertisements. Programming happens through our childhood. Certain things that we do today, or things that we don't do, is all because of how we've been programmed. And you may have not even known it, but that programming is the one thing that feeds into the limiting beliefs that we have as business owners. Whether it's about the timing of something, oh, it's not the right time, or I don't have the right team, or I'm not you. All of that stuff stems back to something else. Whether it was someone said something to you, or you experienced something set in your subconscious to put you in that position to where you feel limited. All right. So one thing that we want to work hard about is overcoming those limiting beliefs. And the first step to this, which is why I want to talk about this before we go into this, because there's going to be some things that somebody might say, and you're going to quickly say, oh, I can't do that, or I don't have the resources for that. But at the end of the day, y'all, the biggest resource that we have that's the same is time. Okay, we all have the same amount of time. I can probably do something in 2 hours. It may take you 5 hours, but still we have the time to be able to do it. Okay, the first thing about limiting beliefs is you need to be aware of it. You have to become aware of what is truly a limiting belief in your think patterns, in your processes. What is truly a limiting belief? And this is a little bit of a skill, right? This is a little bit of a skill. to become aware of something, because those beliefs can be planted so deep. They can be so deep that you don't even recognize it. You don't even recognize it. And so literally in any situation where you're asking yourself, should I or shouldn't I? And you're leaning more to that shouldn't I side, think about what's pushing you more so to that side than the other side. Become aware of that. And then secondly, you need to know how to move past it. Okay. You need to know how to move past it. Now, certain coaches, certain gurus, certain blogs will just say, oh, just make the decision. Make the decision. And that's one part of it. But what I like to do is I like to research and think back where this can be coming from. Why is this even a question? Why is this even an issue for me? To pick up this phone and call a random seller to discuss selling their property, right? When they've already hired an agent, it expired. When they've tried to do it for sale by owner, it didn't work out. What is stopping me from talking to them? Why am I nervous? Why am I scared? Why are all these thoughts coming into my head of why I can't do it? Where is that coming from? Because I can guarantee you, when you were a child, nobody said to you, Carol or Bernard, you're going to be bad at cold calling. Right. Nobody said that to you. Right. So we got to think, where is that coming from? Why am I getting sweaty and shaky calling a random person? All right. So those are two things that I want you to really notice this year when we're dealing with decisions on what we're going to do in our business. Because what makes me successful versus the next person is all about that decision. It's the decision to do something. What holds most real estate agents back in their business is they're not doing what I'm doing. But guess what? We have the same license. We took the same national exam.
Ain't shit.
We probably joined the same brokerage. So how am I where I am? How am I continuously making moves, growing? It's the action that I'm taking. It's me not letting those limiting beliefs stop me. Yeah, I get scared. Yeah, I get nervous. We all do. But still, what's that difference right there? It's only one difference. So when you're hearing success stories of some of the other agents here in Power Unit, just know it was their decision. It was their decision to do something. And that's why I want to go into what steps you took, how you did it. Okay. What problem did you have? Because we all have a problem. We can all sit here and say, oh, I need to do this. I have a problem with this. My database isn't strong enough. Nobody in my network is moving. We all have these problems. Okay. But we can all take steps to overcome it. And when you take those steps and get that momentum going, it makes a difference. Do y'all know how the brain works with just pleasurable feelings? When we come into something that brings us pleasure, whether it's food, whether it's music, whether it's you getting some money from something, you want more of it. Okay. And that's how you start strengthening your brain. It's kind of like addiction. Not all addictions are good, but it brings you some type of pleasure to where you want more of it. Same thing works in business. When you get that good feeling, oh crap, this actually does work. Or, oh, I actually got an appointment, or I got a listing. Oh, I just had a closing. You want more and more and more of them. Okay. But most people don't get to experience that because they're behind that wall. They're behind that limiting belief wall. It's like a stop sign in front of you saying stop. But guess what? You're the one planting that stop sign. Nobody else is putting that stop sign there. As a matter of fact, most people in this industry are probably telling you that you're going to be successful. You can do it. Hoorah. You know, you listen to these coaches, you get on these motivational calls, they all tell you can do it. I'm the oddball most times, but you're the one placing that stop sign in front of you. Another piece of advice for 2021. Okay. There may be some people around you that you gotta let go of, man. You gotta put those blockers on them. And they may not even be directly saying to you harmful things. Okay. They just may be involving you in things that aren't productive to your growth. They may just be getting you tied up in stuff that you don't need to be tied up in. It can be friends, it can be your closest friends, it can be family members, and it's okay, but you got to know what category to put them in. I'm going to be the first one to tell you, growing in business changes your relationships. You know, everybody wants to cheer you on when you're at their level, but then when they're watching from the sidelines, you elevating yourself, you growing, something changes. Something changes with them. And now all of a sudden, they're not so happy about it. Or they start saying to themselves, why not me? Oh, I have people tell me, who do you think you are? And I'm like, who do you think I'm not? Like, I deserve everything that I have. But even little things like that play into your subconscious, because then you start thinking, well, am I changing? You know, is this a bad thing? When it's really not. It's just them staying at the same level. It's just them not progressing. All right. So really, really think about that, because it can have a big toll on you. It can stunt your growth. Anybody ever have a friend or a colleague, an associate, every time you talk to them, it's like they always going through something. It's like they always going through something. It's like, how you doing? Oh, my back hurt today. My leg hurt today. You talk to them the next week. How you doing? Oh, my allergies. Oh my God. And bless their hearts, they are sweet people. But come on now, you know? And so how many people around you are keeping you restricted? Okay, make a list of those people, because next year you got to put them in a box. Now, I'm not saying to not have them as friends or not talk to them, but you need to keep them in a box. You need to keep them in the box and only go around them when you are at your highest of high. Don't talk to those people when you're doubting decisions. Don't talk to those people when you're at your low, because you need to be so elevated that nothing they can say to you is going to mess anything up. And when you start talking to those people when you may be depressed or when you may be questioning or things aren't going right in your business, that's when they can make the biggest difference. Okay. So again, become very self-aware of this stuff. Become very self-aware of what's around you and what's happening in your mind. Okay. Because you can control it. All right. I'm going to start with you, Carol. I want you to tackle these 4 questions.
Okay. So while you were talking, very powerful, by the way, thank you. So I had to really think about that, right? What was one thing that I implemented into my business this year was that I'm not going to ask any questions. Okay. So, and what I mean by that is I was already in Brian Casella's coaching program, and I had come across Chasten in a summit that he did last year. And I had fell in love with Chasten. And so I had decided these were 2 very successful men in their own right. They each took a different path to get there, but it wasn't so different if you really listen to what they're saying. So I made a decision that I'm not asking any questions. I'm not reinventing the wheel. I'm not changing shit. I'm not reevaluating shit. I'm just going to do what they tell me to do. So if they said march left, I marched left. If they said go run over there and jump and tag that, I jumped and tagged. It didn't matter what it was. I just did not ask any questions. I just followed direction. The problem that I ran into that is just like he was talking about the goblins, right? We all got the goblins. They run around. You can't do that. That's not going to work. So keeping my goblins in check and just keeping my head down and just sticking to the plan was my challenge. So that's what I really focused on, was not letting my thoughts get away from me, but just staying in tune with what I was being told to do. And the steps that I took to do that and to stay successful on that path was I just saturated myself with their lessons. You know, Brian has evolved, Chasen has evolved. I had at least one-on-one this year with Chasen. I'm in my lectures is like, I try not to miss these lectures. I think about the things that they're saying. I implement a lot of the things that they've told me to implement, except my success journal, because I'm an asshole. I fell off again. But anyway, those, you know, that's what I did to do it. I just saturated myself with what they were telling me over and over and over again. And that also included picking up some external books that were recommended to me by Chasen and by Brian to read, to just help my mind and develop my mind. I will say on a side note, I did cut all those people from my life. You know, those the complainers and the naggers and the people who always got drama. I cut them all. I don't even give a shit. I don't talk to any of those people anymore. In fact, just caught one last night. Like, because my inner peace, my success, and my family as a whole, our life being happy and positive is more important to me than any outside negative source will ever be. So I cut all that shit. Done. And so what difference did it make? I had a hell of a year in 2020 when the rest of the world was complaining. And I think that was the biggest difference. Is I just had a very successful year. And I think there are a lot of people who didn't, as a result, you know, of not doing those things.
Awesome, Carol. Awesome. Awesome. Let's move down to you, Daniel. And I like that you took it, Carol, to like a mind thing and action, because originally I wasn't even thinking about it like that. I was thinking about just like something tactical, you know, started mailing cards, whatever. But everyone else, feel free, take it either way. I like that. I loved it. Okay, Daniel,
All right.
up.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
So check it out. I want to share something real quick my wife made, which for a Christmas gift. It's a book. It's called HTS Real Estate Service Group, Daniel. And if you start flipping through the book, and I'll share with you real quick here, it has my very first letter of the heart.
Wow.
And then it has the second month letter of the heart. And then it also has the mini gift postcard we were sending out. So she did that for the whole year. Which I was looking through it, and she went back through all my Facebook posts, my mail outs, and she went through all my letter of the hearts. And I was reading through the letter of the hearts on how, because you know, the letter of hearts talk a little bit about your personal life, your business, and a little motivational. And so I think that I can contribute a lot of my business to that small little marketing there. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, what is the one thing to me? I think I've been in real estate for a long time, so I tried all kinds of different models, right? I tried door knocking, and I tried this, and I tried that, I tried Zillow. And I think my problem was not sticking to one thing. And like Carol said, questioning everything, right? So I think that I just kind of stuck, when I started coaching in November, I just stuck to something, right? This kind of was enjoyable for me. I enjoyed it. I stuck to it, and I've been getting a lot of referral business, which was, I believe, the idea of this. And so I think that's kind of the biggest thing that I got out for the business this year. I mean, a lot of other things, but I think that's one of the big ones. A problem that I was having is that I was depending on other sources. For example, I was depending on Zillow for business. I was depending on all kinds of marketing stuff, but I was never looking into my own skills or what I can offer. And I feel like this is something that I was able to create, right? I was able to create the letter of the hearts. I was able to ask for business. So I think that's the problem that I have, and that's a problem that I was able to solve. The steps that I took to do that was I was being consistent and intentional. So, I just kept sending them out, kept asking for business, kept posting about real estate, and just kept calling people saying, hey, my friends, my family, their friends and their family. And I just kept asking them, you should buy a house, you should buy a house, even if it was COVID-19. So I was really consistent with that. I think with the coaching, Chasen always challenges us to believe, to get out of our comfort zone, to actually believe that we can make a lot of money. I mean, we see his we see his posts, and we're like, what the heck, he's my coach, and how am I not making more money? And then you start seeing everybody else on Instagram and Facebook, like he was saying, there's other agents in your office that are making a lot of money, and you're like, why? What's wrong with me? Why can't make the same amount of money, or why am I being successful? So it's really just kind of getting out of your comfort zone. So I was just, constantly believing that this will work, right? If I send out this letter, I believe it's going to work. Somebody's going to call me. If I call them on the theme days, I believe it's going to work. Just really believing that his model or what he's teaching us actually does create business. And I guess what difference that made is, I hit all my goals early in the year. I got an assistant that I was not thinking about getting that's been very helpful. I was able to make more than I ever imagined I could make during COVID-19. And I have now 2 team members that I'm helping and coaching, and they already got some transactions closed. So I think that all of this just kind of led to a more successful business, and just really hopeful for next year.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing. And for those of you who don't know what the letter of the heart is, that's something that we do in Power Unit. It's part of our marketing plan, where every single month at the beginning of the month, you send all of your past clients, or if you don't have past clients, you can do your VIPs. You send them a letter just telling them about your life, telling them about what's going on. It's not a marketing letter. It's nothing like that. It's just a letter. You can talk about your vacations. You can talk about how your family's doing. And then I always like to put something motivational in the letter as well. And so we send those out month by month. And then when he mentioned theme days, those are days that we intentionally call a certain category of people. And you'll see them in the Power Unit course, but we consistently call them week after week, checking in on them, seeing how they're doing, asking for referrals, all that good stuff. And Daniel was very consistent with all of it this year. And that's why he was able to get the results that he got. And again, everybody can do it. Everyone can. It's not hard. The hardest part about it is staying consistent with it. Would you agree, Daniel?
No, for sure, it is. It's the hardest part, and I think, like you were mentioning, I think in any business, like you said, what's making you so successful. If you have the same real estate license as I do, you have the same, everything. So it's the consistency. I think if I blame any of my failures, it will be because I wasn't consistent. If I blame farming, if farming didn't work for me because I wasn't consistent. If Zillow didn't work for me, it's because maybe I wasn't consistent. So I think in any marketing strategy, anything that you do in the business, it's just no consistency. I mean, just even time blocking, if I didn't have time blocking to a certain level of it, I'm not saying I'm an expert on it and I'm always on point, but without that, there would be no consistency. And without the consistency, I think I would just be complaining about, hey, Chassis Miles, coaching doesn't work. Well, did you do this? Did you do that? No. Well, how the heck how's it gonna work if you didn't do it? So I think the consistency, like I said, I mean, my mind still wraps around, when she made this book, I'm thinking, I wrote a letter and I send out a $2 gift every month, and I was getting 5 to 7 referrals. I mean, I don't know what else I can contribute that to be honest with you. I mean, I can say, yeah, I've been in business 7 years, but I didn't get no referrals for the first 5, 6 years. Why all of a sudden during COVID-19, I'm getting 5 to 7 referrals? I mean, I can contribute it to nothing else, but I would say just being consistent with this. Why? How else would they be remembering me or me calling them? Like some of them are my past clients, and me calling them. So I'm just gonna say, like I said, I'm just gonna believe that that's really what it worked, and I think it would make the biggest difference this year. And
Awesome. Thanks for sharing. Let's hop to you, Paula, Florida Paula. Florida Paula.
Florida Paula.
Yeah.
Florida Paula. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. So I want to say first, I really kind of resonated with what Daniel said, as far as, the consistency and the system, trying different systems. I will say that I don't think that I have solved that particular problem. So thank you it was really refreshing to hear it again. But something that I can actually say that I've almost gone through, I think this is the last question I can't answer. I have implemented many different systems in my business that has caused me to become busy, have success. I was very, very close to reaching my goal for the year. I was one deal shy of actually closing, what's on the number that was on my vision board for 2020. So what I did was I had taken the plunge in implementing a virtual assistant, which was a big deal for my business because I didn't, I thought, well, gosh, I'm just starting out. I'm so not busy enough to need a virtual assistant. That's pretty fancy. And I went ahead and took the plunge to do it. But during the course of that time, it was, I guess, 4 or 5 months that I had the virtual assistant for, I began noticing that it felt like it was taking a lot more time to train and make the virtual assistant be like what I needed her to be. So I decided to try to look at my business a little bit differently in terms of how I was going to utilize an assistant. So as much as it was difficult for me to go ahead and sign up with the virtual assistant, I made a big change that's actually not going to be taking place until 2021. So that's why I can't really say what the difference is going to make yet. But that change was I decided to use my transaction coordinator to become my assistant here, like in person. And I feel like what my thought process behind this is I think that it's going to have a huge impact on my business because I feel like I'm going to be spending a lot less time trying to explain things. Culturally, sometimes things get lost in the shuffle. And I felt like I'm, kind of repeating and trying, I don't know if that's making sense to everybody, yeah. But so I think that I'm going to be taking that out of the equation and then having somebody who's actually that I trust, that's a thinker and that's going to really not only assist, but like just really grow with me in my business. And she's all on board to do that. And the best part is that I am really restructuring how I'm paying her. So I'm not really paying her like an hourly rate. I'm doing it more of a like per task, like a per diem, I guess, kind of thing. So as she does different things for me, this task is worth this much money. Then also overall increasing my transaction fee overall. So each transaction she's making more money. So it's all kind of coming out in the wash. But my in-person assistant is actually going to cost me, I think, less than my virtual assistant. And she's probably going to do more faster for me, if that makes sense.
Awesome. Yep, it does. It does. And I love that you brought that up, especially with staffing. And I'll tell y'all this, when you start elevating yourself in business and where your business really takes a different growth plan of its own, it's this equation of 3 different types of people. Okay. And right now, when you're starting out as a real estate agent or a solopreneur, whatever you want to call it, you're all of these. Okay. But as you move down that path of bringing people on, especially in these roles where they're playing multiple hats or you have that trust there, you always want to have a thinker. That's the first person, a doer, and then a talker. Okay. So for example, for me, I have moved into the role of being the thinker. I'm the visionary. I see the big vision. The ideas pop in my head. I'm like, oh, this is a great idea. Let's do this. Or I saw this somewhere. So I'm the thinker. I'm always thinking on how to build this business bigger. And then I have the doer. Okay. So they're the ones that I delegate the tasks to. And I tell them, hey, let's implement this. You're going to do this, this, this. And they're really good at it. They're really good at just getting things done. And then you have that talker. That talker is the one that goes out and talks to everybody about it. Okay. They tell the world that y'all are doing this. They're excited about it. If they can talk to anybody in any type of room about anything. Okay. You can think of them as your marketing department. When you have this perfect triangle of these three people, that's when your business takes off to another level. Okay, because you're no longer limited with just your time. Like right now, or I mean, well, not right now, but right now, many of you are probably in that position where it's like, yeah, you have these great ideas, but then you know that you have to do them, you have to implement them, you have to make them happen, and then you have to market it and tell everybody about it. Okay, so just think about what it would be like when you, as the CEO, are just able to focus on that one thing. Okay, and then you're able to delegate it out to these people who take such pride in doing their jobs because they are good at it. Okay, for 2021, think about completing that triangle. Okay, because it can really make some big differences in your business growth. All right, let's move down to you, Bernard.
Okay, hello everyone. Yes, so I'm looking over what you've got as our questions, and I mentioned I've got my trainee, I've got my son sitting here, and that's one of my giant motivators. He's 13, and he's hopefully absorbing some of this, and I'm thinking about what you just mentioned as far as having those pillars, and hopefully we can figure out one of these pillars that he may be able to help me out with, because I think that that's one of the biggest challenges as a agent. But if we start in just what happened for me in 2020, it was really just going into business. It was, due to COVID, things changed. I had to leave New York, and I was just kind of forced into. I had to do something. I have this license that I acquired in New York, and I was in transition to acquire it here in Texas anyway, and timing just worked out for me. So being brand new, it was, what is the problem? Problem is I have no clue what to do and who to contact or anything. And so it was just putting my nose to the grindstone and saying, okay, you know what? Uh, I am a very outgoing, sociable person. I talk a lot. I'm that person that goes into the room. I don't have a stranger. There's nobody that I've ever met that's a stranger. I'm going to walk up and, I have lots of experience in many different areas. My consulting has given me opportunities to speak to people and, go into boardrooms and speak to CEOs and travel around the world and talk to many different people. So, for me, I thought, prior to COVID, it was going to be, hey, just go into coffee shops, hang out. And, obviously people, walk up to me and want to talk to me, and, things would transpire. And, it's just some respect that's still in the works. It's still kind of happening, but it's not at the speed that I like, and so my steps that I'm taking are, just getting out and about. And, I've got this account with this one builder that's working out really well. And now it's expanding upon that. My next thing is being really a more on the whole time blocking. And I've got to figure that out. That's where I'm looking at. I'm going to, for next year, I'm negotiating office space so we can start off on a month-to-month basis. I set up my ROI. I set up what are my goals, set up what it is that I plan to accomplish by the end of the month, and say, okay, well, here are the numbers, here are the analytics. I'm a analytical person, and say, okay, if I'm going to spend this much, then this is what I need to see as my return. And if it works for this month, okay, fantastic. And that's really the way that I'm going about this. And then I've been super fortunate. My wife is very supportive, and she's actually given me some leads. So it's tough to say what to change, because I've only been in business really 9 months and I've had 10 closed transactions. So You know, and I hear these people out there saying, wow, there's people out there that been in business for 5 years, and 1 year they only close 5 or 6 transactions. So it's kind of like, you know, man, okay, well, yeah, I keep beating myself up and saying I need to do more. I need to be, you know, hitting it. I mean, honestly, as a consultant, I'm like, I live a 1% lifestyle. I mean, that's just who I am. And I need to be a 1%er in real estate. And that's just what I'm going to be. And I just need to say, okay, you know what? I got to get to what I got to get to be a 1%er. And that's just, you know, and so I'm beating myself up to say that I got to do it. And now I'm looking at wherever I can shift to make that shift happen. Because, you know, I just want to be a 1%er. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
that's who I am. That's so what's made a big difference? The biggest difference is just getting in business and doing it.
Yep.
Do it.
Awesome. Awesome. Orlando, I'm not going to let you just drop that message in there and not explain yourself. No. So yeah, you're up next.
Oh, ooh, what do you say?
No. I mean, it was all
So I'm
good.
like, I'll look at it.
I wanted to drop the link for you guys, but if you want to go to my Facebook page and check it out, it's the brand announcement video I did. It cost me like $800, but I went to a really good camera guy and he made a video that really, I think, provided my business for the year. It was just me telling everybody my brand and what I stood for. And now when I talk to people, they know that I'm in real estate. It's like the first thing they talk to me about. So that was something really big for me. I know Chase, I got a lot of that from Chasten with Founders when he started Founders. So I think that everyone out there should be branding themselves to fit the business you're trying to create.
Yep. Awesome. Well, can you go ahead and run through these questions?
Yeah. So the one thing I implemented, it was right at the beginning of the year, was creating that video. A problem I had was trying to keep up with the brand I created. So I was exhausted this summer and I was pretty much didn't have a life just trying to keep up with that brand. So I love that, like the triangle is something I'm really trying to get into this year because that was a big problem I had last year, was not having the resources to deliver that brand image, which I did, but I could have done better. And the steps that I took to make that video was really the agent vision plan. So that agent vision plan was awesome. Go through that and read through that and then start creating your brand around that agent vision plan. And the difference it made is everybody who knows my brand, they have a good something good to say about it because I did my best to hold it up. So my reviews really, I think, stick out to what my brand was trying to do, and that's have integrity, service, and excellence.
Awesome. I love that. Congrats. And I'm going to go and watch that video.
Yep. And it's right on my, it's my pinned post.
Okay, cool.
All right. Thank you, Chasten. Thank you, everyone, for telling about your year.
Absolutely.
All right. You guys take
care. California, Paula, are you there?
You had to check and make sure because I dip out whenever.
Yeah.
I just burned the road up. I'm gonna go a different angle with this.
Okay.
And the one thing that I implemented into my business this year was to actually take a step back for myself. I got my license in last year. It feels like it's longer, but I got my license in August and I hit the ground running and I was excited. But the truth is, in my current business, it was such a mess because I was making so many changes and stuff in that business. It was kind of like maybe I was running from that business into another business. And I was burnt out. That's just being straight up honest. So after that realization, I tried to hang in there. I did a couple of deals, and I'm just a bad person. I won't say that. I'm a bad person, period, in a good way. So I don't have the concerns about being scared to do this, that, and the third, but I didn't realize why I was feeling sad and why I was, forgetting to do important things and why I couldn't get the calendar right and what, what I mean? Like I was all over the place. So what I did after those couple of deals was actually took a step back from the business so that I could get me together because I was burnt to a crisp. So that was my problem, to be quite honest with you, was myself. And I am the business. So if I'm not feeling great, then it will show up in the business. So I didn't want that to happen with this new business. So the steps that I took is I got a therapist and I continue to
Awesome.
listen to you guys and I continue to comment and stay active because one thing I know for sure in any business is that consistency will put you on top. And so, you know, the difference is I feel better. I feel less stressed, you know, and I know that's not what you guys are wanting to hear.
That was perfect.
But it's the truth. It's the truth. Like I had to take a step back, lest I would just be a hot mess for my clients. I would be a hot mess everywhere.
Yep.
And thank God for EXP because I had one badass mentor. And because of her, the deals that I did do were so there was so much learning in them because they weren't just the average, you know, find a house, sign the papers and go smooth. Anything that could go wrong kind of did, which was such good learning. And even through, you know, the sad feelings and all you go through when you feel like you're going through either depression. I hate to use that word, but that's kind of like how it felt. Like one day I'm like, yes, I can conquer the world. Next day is I don't want to leave the house, you know, and I couldn't figure out why. So I just wanted to tell you thank you as well, because I don't remember the date, but my journal entry was November 15th, and you had sent an email out that says you can have more if you become more. And if you stay how you are, you'll always be, you know, da, 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 da. But it wasn't what the content said, it was the timing. And that is the kind of stuff that sticks to me, that look at this, like on one of the saddest days, I get this from Chasten.
Yeah.
And the quote is so perfect in how I felt in that moment, that not only did it make me feel good and pick my day up, but it also reminded me that consistency is everything. So that's just my story.
Awesome. I am so glad that you went there, because that's an important lesson that I had to learn for myself. And it was learned recently, probably just around 2 years ago, because I was dealing with the same thing. You know, I was finding the success in doing everything that I was knowing to do, but it had gotten out of control. You know, you get caught up in so many things, and you have 50 million things going on, you know. And so I had to figure out my way of doing things moving forward, because I said to myself, if I continue down this path that I'm going down, I'm gonna hate everything and everyone.
Yes. Yep.
You know, and
that's
so
what happened. Yeah, that's exactly what happens.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so, you know, something that y'all can probably visually see, I go on vacations a lot, like a lot. And that's my way of doing things. You know, you have some people, whenever they have a closing, they'll go buy them something nice, or they may go out to a fancy dinner. None of that was working for me. I had to physically, and like I couldn't even just step back. I had to physically remove myself.
Yeah, it's very important.
And let my brain reset, just in order to keep myself going strong, to keep myself sane. And it's 150% okay. It's 150% okay. So kudos to you. I'm so glad that you got to that place, and that you took the steps that you took.
Yes, I did. So to answer that, no, I haven't gotten my California license, but I'm feeling better. And when I do, they better wait. They better watch out.
There you go. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. And now I know we have some newer people on the call, which I want to give y'all an opportunity to speak. You are more than welcome to answer these questions, but at the least, just tell us who you are and what your goals are for the next year. After they speak, I'm going to go into just some number planning. Some of you may not need this, so feel free to hop off the call. I'm going to show you what's in Power Unit, how you can use it just to make sure your numbers are intact for next year. I'm going to go through the goal calculator, but let's start with you. Is it Francois?
Hi,
Hi.
I had a pretty hard year. I
Mm.
got at least one infarctus this year
Mhm.
and another sequel in October. And since then, I fall in the stairs, so I'm keep having problem with one of my knees. So with all the medication, my problem is to have a full day. I've got medication that bring me very early to bed, and I'm really exhausted. So my problem to deal with will be time management, with the time available for me to work on anything I'm gonna be implementing.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And that's a good goal, and we can definitely help you with that.
Yes.
Time management is a big one around here. Okay, thank you for sharing. Sabrina.
Okay.
Sabrina, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hey guys.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things I've only been in the real estate business for a couple months, but one of the things that I did implement from the time I started was branding myself. I know in the beginning it was hard for me because I'm really kind of on the shy side, but oops, sorry. Yeah, so I made it my business to put myself out there more, to brand myself in order to get more people to prospect with. So that was one of the things that I implemented. The problem I was having in the beginning was the follow up. I wasn't good with following up on some of the people that were reaching out to me. So the steps I took were just to make sure that anybody that actually reached out to me, that I made sure that I made a connection with them. And the difference it made was that I was able to turn a lot of prospects into active leads. So, and those active leads actually referred me to, other people. So that was the difference that it made for me.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. I'm excited to hear about that. Growth happens in all kinds of ways. And
Yeah.
and next year, off to the races.
Yes, yes, sir.
All right, Nicholas, how you doing?
Hey, Jason, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. So I've been in the business for about 3 months now. I'm coming from the construction industry where, it's top, staying on top of everything, making the higher ups happier. And that's the part that I'm not very happy with is, making sure that boss is happy, not that I'm happy myself. So that I've always been an entrepreneur. For this year, what I'm looking to do is build a brand myself for the first time, and start marketing more and more. Sorry about that. Let's see. I'm just looking at your list to see if I can go off of that.
Okay.
So the steps I took, starting off in this business is, first, I actually went with Zillow, and I'm working with them a little bit. I got a lot of leads with them. I got about maybe 2 closed deals so far in the past 2 months. So I'm pretty happy with, the start right now. But my systems and getting those in order are where I'm a little shaky and don't know too much. So that's why I then took the step and I went with your coaching.
Awesome. How was your first day in?
HVAC.
Oh,
My first day in it was different, I'm still going part-time, so right now I'm actually working my 9-to-5 job. But yeah, no, the time management is a lot different, trying to managing 9 to 5, but keeping up with customers for real estate also, and then making the time to go out with them and see houses and whatnot. So my time management is all over the place right now, but
Okay.
it's something I really want to work on for the new year.
Okay. We're gonna definitely help you with that. And Nicholas, I actually want to use yours as an example, because I did receive your agent vision, your agent business plan and your 4 pillars of reality. And I want to show everybody this just in case you haven't done your numbers for 2021 yet. I'm going to switch my screen over into Power Unit Coaching. So here in the dashboard, and we're going to open up Power Unit Coaching, and we're going to go to the accountability section. And then we're going to go to the goals calculator. This is that agent vision plan that who was it? Orlando was talking about. When you go in goals calculator, you're going to see this Excel spreadsheet here on the side. Go ahead and download that and open it up. So on your agent, on your 4 pillars of reality, you know, we ask a lot, how long you've been in the business, how many transactions did you do last month, last year, this year. But on this first step 1, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to come in and enter in all your expenses. And I even put other spaces there to where you can put in other things that may not be on the list. I'm just going to enter some miscellaneous expenses here just to get some numbers going. That's ridiculous. And these are all monthly right there, okay? So once you do that, it's going to calculate your total living expenses per month. All right. And then it's going to break it down into the year. And then it's going to ask you how much money do you want to make next year? You know, yep.
Chasing, we're not seeing the spreadsheet. We're seeing the Power Unit Coaching.
Oh, okay.
It's not, the spreadsheet's not sharing. Thank you.
Thanks for popping that in there. Okay. How is it now?
I can see
Hey,
now.
that's it. Yep. Thank
Cool.
you.
Okay. So in this first section, I entered in all my expenses. And then it gave me my number monthly, and then for the year based on these figures that I entered in there. Then you want to put in what you want your net pay to be, your net income. So like, let's just say that I want to make $150,000 next year. And then how much you want to put away for taxes. I put in here, you know, usually 20 to 30%. So we could do 20%. And then there it goes. It gives me my target based on everything that we put up here. Okay. So once you put that in there, you're going to come to the next screen right there. So it's taking that target number, and then we're going to break down your buyers and sellers. So what percentage of buyers you plan to do, what percentage of sellers you plan to do. We can put in 50-50. More realistically, it'll probably be 70 for buyers, 30 for sellers. Make sure this number translates to 100%. Okay, then that's going to let you know what that income needs to be for each side. Now put in your commission split. All right, so one thing with this, if you're on a team, there's a space for team right there. If it's just you, just put in your commission. So we can, I didn't mean to put that right there. Sorry. Be sure to only do these spaces that say agent entry. Okay, so you can see this one only if on a team. Now, your commission split to brokers. So the percentage that your broker keeps. We could put 20% on that side. We could put 20% on that side. If you have a cap, so I'll just put caps right there. So since I didn't put any team team percentages, that's why that's blank. But now it's letting me know my total commissions for buyers and sellers, my total broker commissions, all that good stuff, my commission income, all that. Now you can put in your business expenses. So what are your broker fees? All right, what's your E&O insurance? All that good stuff. Let me put in my broker fees I'll say $149, and I'll say 500 for the year. Whatever, this needs to be per year, though all of these figures need to be per year. I'll just put in 1,000 just for purposes of this. So now it's letting me know my target GCI. Moving to the next screen. Okay, so it's taking that. What's my average commission percentage? I'm gonna say 3%. If it's 2% in your area, you could put 2. Now it's giving me my sales volume. Okay, what's your average sales price? I'll put 275 here. So it's telling me my total target transactions that I need. I need 23.88. Just round it up to 24 or round it down if it's a lower number. Now, how many leads? Okay, so it's taking that number. What percentage of your business will be sellers? I'm gonna say 80. I'm gonna say 30. What percentage of your business will be buyers? 70. So now it's telling me this is how many seller closed transactions I need. This is how many buyers. Okay, now how many appointments? Okay, enter your listing appointment success rate. This means based on the amount of appointments that you go on, how many do you think that you're going to close? I'm going to say I'm just real good. I'm going to close 70% of my buyers. I'm going to close 90% of my buyers. So it's breaking down the numbers even more. After that, you're going to get your summary. Okay, so for me to get my net income of 150,000, I need to have GCI at here. This is my sales volume. This is my buyers closed for year, sellers closed for year, transactions, buyer appointments per year, listing appointments per year. This is the under contract volume per month, and this is the closed volume. Okay, now it's breaking it down even monthly. See, now these numbers aren't that intimidating anymore. Okay, they're not that intimidating. I need to have 40 substantial conversations. When you get all of your figures from this page, all right, you're going to take that and you're going to go back into Power Unit Coaching, and you're going to get this agent vision plan. You're going to get that agent vision plan, download that. And this is, again, what Orlando was talking about. So download that agent vision plan. And then you're going to come in here and you're going to enter those numbers in this page. Okay, you're going to write them in there, print this page out, hang it on your wall, hang it on your mirror, make multiple copies of it. You want to see this all the time. And then you're going to do this activity. I talked about this last week. You're going to put in here all of this. You're going to answer these questions. What's your mission? What's your purpose? This is what Orlando was talking about, how it gave him that clarity. Okay, write this in here. These last 2 pages are going to be the most important pages. And this is asking you to write a letter of what your life looks like when you hit this goal. When you're looking 1 year into the future, what is your life looking like? And then you're going to write a letter of explaining what your life looks like without you hitting it. Okay, what's going to be sacrificed? Be precise with these. All right, this is going to give you a real accurate look at your big why, your goal. And again, print this out, review this every week, every month, whatever you have to do. It's all in there for you. Okay, so use that calculator. Make sure that you are clear on what you have to do next year. This is the last meeting of the year. And that clock is going to start January 1st, January 4th for some of them, for some of you, whatever it is, but you're going to know exactly what you need to do to hit your goals. And everything that you do in your business needs to center around hitting that. All right. I wish everybody a great and happy new year. If you need anything, feel free to reach out. My team will help you out if you need any questions, resources, anything like that. But I've truly enjoyed working with everybody this year. I'm looking forward to next year. On the next call, it's going to be straight up tactics. Okay. It's going to be a lot of tactical stuff, lots of systems, lots of moving parts. So just be ready for it. All right. Anybody have any final words or need anything or want to say anything?
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year, everybody. All right. I'll talk to y'all next week.
All right,